We have a Buckeye Grove exclusive right now. We are here with 2021 linebacker out of Mater Dei High School in California, Raesjon Davis. First and foremost, welcome to Columbus. How are you enjoying your visit?
Thank you, thank you. It's been very great. The whole visit. It's been really fun, just seeing everything and just being out here in the city. I like to see everything and just like to get a feel for it.
A lot of people had kind of written you off. They're like, well, it's going to LSU, and then you open things up, and everybody thinks you're going to stay home, and yet here you are. So that's got to be a good omen toward Ohio State that this is legitimate. This isn't an official visit. The university's not paying for it or anything. This is on your dime coming out here to check things out.
Yeah, this is on us. We really just wanted to come out here and see how it is. I wanted to bring my parents out here so they could get a feel for the city because I've already been out here and I loved it. So I just want them to come out here and see how it was.
Would it be safe to say that this is just as important for your parents as it is for you? Because if you're going anywhere, it's got to be kind of a family decision, right?
That's exactly what it is. That's why I just wanted to involve them in it and make sure they got to see everything because I know they'll be coming out here to check me out if I was to come in here.
What was the most important thing for them to see, in your opinion? If I talk to them, I'm sure they would have their own things of what they'd want to see. They want to make sure that you're
Really, I just wanted to show them it's not that cold and just the whole city aspect of it because they've never been out here, so they just wanted to come see how everything moved and how the city was and how the people were. So that's what I wanted to show them.
You said that this is not your first trip out here. You've been out here before. How is this trip different than the first trip, and what's important to you?
Ooh, the first trip I didn't really get to do too much because it's a dead period. So we were just out there, but we was able to walk in and see more of the facility aspect of it. So that's what I got to see the first time. So I wish I could see that this time with my parents, but COVID, it is what it is. So I just accepted it, and we just wanted to come out here just get a feel for it. That's all we can do right now. So we love it, and it's very nice out here. So that's I have nothing else to say about that.
You had the opportunity to hook up with an Ohio State signee, Jaylen Johnson, yesterday. What was that like? I'm sure he's trying to put the full court press on you, but, recruit to recruit, nobody wants to sit there and, just really hold your feet to the fire. But, what's his message to you?
Really, he just told me we'd be a dynamic duo here. We'd be amazing, and we'd win championships and go to the NFL. So that's all of our dreams really as a recruits. So that's really what it was. That's all he was pitching to me. So, he hasn't pressed me about anything too much. He just keeps telling me how great we would be. So that's why I really get along with him. He's a cool dude.
Do you look at the depth chart and see guys like Tuff Borland, Pete Werner, Justin Hilliard, Baron Browning, all leaving? They're losing their top four linebackers. Recruits these days are a lot more savvy than maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago when we didn't have computers and everything else. Do you look at that depth chart?
Of course. You always have to look at the depth chart to see where you would fit in and how your play style will go with it. So I look at that all the time, and I know that the next 2 years, 7 of them will be gone. So I look at that, and I like that a lot. So I know I'll be able to come in and make an impact.
Before we turn the camera on, we were talking a little bit about Ohio State being a national program in terms of its recruiting. Do you sit there and do you look at guys like C.J. Stroud and Court Williams and Chris Olave, who have all left California and to come to Ohio State to find their opportunity?
I always look at CJ. I talk to him a lot. We talk a lot. I would say almost every week. So I just talk to him a lot about it and see how he feels, and he loves it here. So he said it's a business, but they treat you like family. So I love that about it, and I just know that they'll treat you right, even though you're not from here and you're not a hometown kid. So that's what I love a lot about this place.
Now, as we know, we're still in this dead period. This is self-guided and everything else. What is a visit like that when you're having to kind of go on your own? You haven't been out here much. Your parents haven't been out here at all before you. What is it that you try to see?
Really, it was just get a feel for the campus aspect because I haven't seen the campus. So we just walked around there and seen the student union and all that. So that was pretty cool. We actually got to see that, and we took a picture of Brutus. So that was cool. And then I just really wanted my parents to get out here to see it, but I wish we could have seen the facilities. That was a big part of it. So it is what it is. We've seen it on videos. So I can't say too much about it.
You had an opportunity, though, to go at least outside the stadium or whatever. I mean, you're in your backyard. I mean, obviously, when you have the Rose Bowl and you have the Coliseum, they're big stadiums in your backyard. But Ohio Stadium's right there too.
That stadium was like different. I was actually very surprised how big it was. I didn't think it was that big in person. So when I seen it, it was just like it was mind opening, and like it really just like showed me how they love football out here.
Before I ask you specifically on Ohio State, are you still shooting for February 3rd? Is that the date that you're shooting for to announce?
Yes. I might know my decision before then, but that's when I plan on announcing it. So that's how I'm gonna stick to it.
So you may keep it under wraps. You may come to a decision before that, but you don't plan on putting it out there before that. That's going to be the day you're going to come out and do that. Are you going to do like a video with like the hat science and everything else?
I think I'm doing it with Steve and them for CBS. So I think that's how it'll be. But I do plan on doing it February 3rd. So I don't want to like say I'm gonna do it any earlier. So
right. So people are going to have to hang tight.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when it comes to Ohio State, I mean, obviously you've made the effort to come out here. There's obviously probably some desire to stay close to home with SC or whatever. I mean, Ohio State got a real shot?
Of course, they've always had a real shot since I had the offer. So I've always liked Coach Wesson and how he talks, like just on FaceTime, just talking to him and meeting him in person last time. So I just I think it's a very good school. It's actually a great school, and I know they have both like academics and football is top notch. So that's what I love about it.
When you're done playing football, what's the life goal for that? Talking about the academics. What's after football's done with you?
Really, I haven't even made my mind up about it yet. I have a few ideas like business and then engineering. So I'm looking into it a lot, and I know Ohio State has a good business and engineering program. So I know that they could lead me into a future.
Talking about relationships too. I mean, how's that relationship with Al Washington?
It's like pretty much it's the top relationship I have with any coach, other than Coach Orlando and then Coach Wilson at Oregon. So really, like those three are my top schools like going into this. So I would say Coach Washington. He's been there for me since the jump, and like even when I was committed to LSU, he was always on me. So that's what I love about him.
I was going to say, and what has that message been? It's got to be tough to keep recruiting a guy who's committed elsewhere. But I guess those of us in the recruiting industry always felt, until the ink's dry, we're not sure on this one. I mean, so what's his messaging been to you?
He just told me like to just keep my eye on it, like keep my eye on them, like how they played through the season, and like watch the linebackers how they play. And so he showed me like with Justin Hilliard, you don't have to be a specific, like you don't have to be 6'4" or any of that just to play out there. So that's what I loved, and he showed me like anybody can make it. So that's what I really like. I really like Coach Wesson.
Last question, kind of getting back to something we talked about at first. You said this visit was just as much about your parents as you. Do you think you've been able to show them enough so far that they would be okay with you, going 2/3 of the way across the country?
Yeah, I think like they told me already it's up to you. So after seeing all this, they said really it's my decision. So I don't know. We'll see after this week, when I get back, how I feel. So I don't know yet.
There you go. There you go. We heard from the man himself. I mean, a lot of people talking about it. We tracked him down. It wasn't easy, but there you go. And we don't have long to wait until February 3rd. Raesjon, I want to thank you for talking to us here in this exclusive video.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Go Bucks.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to click on that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And come visit us over at BuckeyeGrove.com for all the best Ohio State information on the web.